A draw in yesterday's episode may have damaged our title challenge, but we won't give up. We have 8 games to go, 12 points to find. Manchester United are the target. Let's see what happens. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel and another episode of Leeds United, Pride of Yorkshire. So as I said in the little blurb bit at the start there, yesterday we had a disappointing draw against Leicester City. A game that I was hoping we would pick up 3 points in. We kind of just fizzled out, didn't really have too much. We had a few chances from a few corners, a few things like that, but really didn't play all that well. Probably Leicester were deserving of their point. The only problem with that is it put us further behind Manchester United. We are now 12 points behind. You can see Arsenal have now played a game more than us. They have 59 points. So we are looking good for a Champions League place if we can just keep winning games. The problem is we have had 2 draws the last 2 times out. In today's episode, we're going to look to bounce back against Hull. In terms of the Champions League, I said that we might have an outside sniff of winning this competition if we could start playing some decent football. Maybe I jinxed it a little bit. We got drawn against Real Madrid in the quarterfinals of the Champions League. That is going to be an absolute monster of a tie. We are going to have to try and play our very best to get through those 2 games. But today we are focusing on the Premier League. We are going to jump in and show you the lineup for the whole game. So after no win in the last 2 games, we are looking to bounce back and get 3 points against Hull City. The lineup we are going to put out will be Meslier in goal, Firpo, Woba, Konate and Singo. Our back four continue to be fit and continue to play. We will have Phillips and Verratti in the middle. James, Gravenberch and Rafinha as the attacking 3, hopefully feeding the ball into Benjamin Šeško. Say that quite a lot. He hasn't scored a goal in the past couple of games. We are waiting for Mr. Šeško to find that form from a couple of games ago when he was scoring hat-tricks against Brighton. It's there somewhere. We've just got to get him the ball. And hopefully we're going to do that early on today. And we're going to get 3 points against Hull City. So then, as always with these single matches, we are going to show you everything that happens. We have the nice team lineup screens here, as you can see our lineup, and then Hull with Ivan Toney up front leading the line for Hull City. They have quite a few interesting players in their lineups there. The league table you can see now on screen shows we're 12 points behind. Our goal difference is only 35, which shows that we have had a real problem with goal scoring this season. Šeško is our leading scorer, but outside of that, we've really struggled. It's been defenders that have made goals up, and we have a free kick here early on. Rafinha crosses it in, it gets headed away. Singo is going to play it back to Rafinha. Let's see what he can do with it. Cuts it to Verratti, finds Woba. Woba's had a shot from distance. It's not too far away. It is wide though, and the score stays at 0-0. But yeah, just as I was saying, Šeško has been our main source of goals, and really we need to support him with goals from those attacking 3 players. So Rafinha, Gravenberch and James today not really been in amongst the goals too much. I know Daniel James scored in the Champions League, but we need them to really start stepping up in the Premier League, I think. And in terms of consistent contributions, we really are only looking at Šeško, who scores goals all of the time. And speaking of goals all of the time, here is Šeško in behind, and he has hit the ball against the goalkeeper. He did that in the Leicester game too, and we were haunted by that missed chance when he was through 1-on-1. He's missed another one here against Hull today. Phillips has the corner. Konate headed it back to Firpo, who gets dispossessed, and then the ball is just hammered away. So you can see by the stats there, we are having the majority of the game. Chances and everything really are going our way, but we can't get on top in terms of the score. And Hull now are going to have a chance with the ball swung in, looking for Toney. Daniel James, though, gets on it, and he plays it back to Woba. He plays it forwards, back to James. Firpo with the ball over the top. Šeško is in again. Surely he's not going to miss another one. No, he's not. Benjamin Šeško is back on the score sheet. The assist from Junior Firpo, and that is a welcome sight as we look to consolidate, certainly second place in the table. Hopefully, if Everton can do us a favour later on, you'll see on the right-hand side that they play each other later on this day that we're playing. But in the hunt to try and catch them, all we can do is win games. And Sheshko gives us the best chance to do that as he takes his second chance, gives us the first goal of the game. And another chance here is coming, it seems. Firpo to James. Phillips with the ball out to Rafinha, but it's intercepted by Dante, who plays it up to Lewis Potter, who gives it back to Dante. Rafinha had a shot at getting the ball there, he didn't, and he ended up actually on the floor. And it means that Hull are now playing the ball away. And Brown is going to turn back, plays it to Doherty, who plays it to O'Reilly, but Verratti steps in, tackle, can't get the ball still. Hull are having some nice set-up play here. Let's see what they can do with it. As Brown plays it into Embleton, he's now going to try and turn away from his man and has some success here to get towards the goal, crosses it in, ball is backwards, and then it's intercepted by Canate. Verratti plays it. Rafinha with a massive ball over the top. Sheshko is in again. Sheshko doesn't score this time as Moore turns it round for a corner. Nice sustained pressure here though, and this is really what we need. A second goal would also help us. Canate there gets onto the cross, can't get the ball inside of the frame of the goal, and unfortunately for us it is over. And at half time we are winning 1-0, but we have had 12 shots, 6 of them on target, XG of 1.37, and only one goal to show from it. Nothing really negative to say about the team apart from the finishing, so we're just going to roll on into the second half where we see Rafinha swing a free kick in. It's dealt with by Hull, and now they are on the break. Canate though catches up with the player, takes the ball off of him. Phillips plays it out to Firpo, who gives it to Daniel James, turns into Gravenberch, ball over the top for Rafinha, he's inside the box, turns back, there's Sheshko, shot is deflected, and Dante is there again to clear it away. And Ivan Toney now brings the ball forward. Firpo plays it to Gravenberch. That dies out, but Rafinha has a free kick. Phillips goes to ground. It says he was pushed. They're looking at VAR here. Let's see what happens. So check for the penalty. And penalty has been awarded. So Calvin Phillips, trying to get across the front of his man, goes to ground, gets us a penalty, which Benjamin Sheshko is going to step up and take. Which way is he going to go? Goes to the keeper's right, sends him the wrong way, and we are 2-0 up, and all of a sudden Benjamin Sheshko is back in goal scoring form. 24 now on the season for him, and that's 48 minutes on the clock with us having a 2-0 lead. Pretty cool finish there from our leading goal scorer. So hopefully we're just going to build on this now. Phillips to Woba, header goes over the bar, and that's a goal kick for Hull. And we are keeping the pressure on. Let's make a few substitutions. We've got a lot of games coming up, so if we can rotate, we will do that. So Stefano Sensi is going to come on in place of Calvin Phillips. We're going to have the Italian partnership in the middle of the park. Who else is looking a bit weary? So Rafinha, I think Karim Adeyemi deserves a chance in there. And I also think Singo is playing at right back. So Christian Maneo is going to come on at right back as well. Probably risky to make all three substitutions at the same time, as we have been caught out in the past. And almost we were caught out there with a cross that come in, and Greaves has headed it onto the top of the net, and it's out for a goal kick. So 70 minutes on the clock. We are pushing forward still. We have a free kick here with Sensi. Tries to find Verratti. Ball is headed cleared by Lewis Potter. But Verratti is the first one to the ball. He finds Manea. Canate for Gravenberch. He had a look at playing that ball in then. Took his time. Finds Daniel James, the smallest player on the pitch probably. He has a head out which goes straight into the arms of the goalkeeper. And it looks like Hull are going to try and build up from the back here. Instead, they go absolutely long over the top to Brown. Crosses it in. Lewis Potter with a great bit of control. And Embleton has managed to get a goal back. And that really is some shambolic defending. Not too sure how Lewis Potter ends up getting the ball and bringing it down in the way that he does, because Brown just smashes the ball across. This goes nice and high. Potter takes it on his toe, stops, cuts it back, and Embleton is there. And I think it's Canate just turns and watches the ball go into the net. Woba's on the line trying to defend anyway. But all of a sudden, 15 minutes to go, and Hull now have a chance with Pring. Melier, I think he's forced into a save. He is indeed. He's turned it around for a corner kick. And let's see what happens from this. Hopefully we're going to clear this away here. As the cross comes in, it's headed away by Adeyemi at the front post. and goes out for a throw-in. So we were cruising at one point. All of a sudden, it's 2-1 and Hull are really into this game. And we are going to attack again with Sensi playing the ball out to Firpo, who finds Daniel James. He stops, cuts it back. Sensi to Firpo to James. Ball in for Sheshko. Turns, lays it off to Adeyemi, who's hit the inside of the post. Could have killed the game off there with 84 minutes on the clock. Instead, we are facing a nervy couple of minutes. 5 added on of those as well. But the time seems to be ticking away quite nicely, and we have just about done enough to get ourselves back to winning ways, and that is a very welcome 3 points, as we are still chasing Manchester United, and they, as I mentioned during the game, play later. So a great performance really. 25 shots, 9 on target, next year 3.42, ended up with only 2 goals. So it's a game where we were well worthy of our 3 points, but made it absolutely skittish for ourselves at the end, as we give the stupid goal away and then let them back into the game, and we really crawled over the line. But thankfully we got there. That's 3 more points, and we are still in pursuit of Manchester United. So after we get back to winning ways, it turns out that Everton actually did everybody in the Premier League a favour. They managed to get a 1-1 draw with Manchester United, which means that the gap is now back to 10 points with 7 games to go. Not saying that we are going to do it, but we are going to give it absolutely everything that we can. Looking at the schedule, you can see in the top left-hand corner of the screen, our next game is against Wolverhampton Wanderers. We have a nice 14-day break, which means I'm sending some first teamers away for a bit of rest. But when we come back tomorrow, we'll be facing off against Wolves as we look to close that gap even further. So then, 3 points for the first time in 3 games as we sweep Hull away. We were brilliant for 3/4 of the game, and then all of a sudden, that last 15 minutes, we absolutely made it difficult for ourselves. Gave away a stupid goal, nearly let them in once again, but luckily for us, we get the 3 points. Adeyemi could have finished it all off in the 84th minute, but didn't. It gave us a nervy 5 minutes of added on time, but we got over the line, we got 3 points, and that is all that is important in the chase to keep our fingers on our Premier League title. So in tomorrow's episode, we're going to be facing off against Wolverhampton Wanderers. We're going to look to take another step closer to retaining the title, even though it is an absolute long shot and probably nobody give us any chance. We will stick together and we will continue to fight all the way to the end, because that's what champions do. So if you're at this point of the video, you're still watching, firstly, a big thank you. Secondly, if you're new here, please consider hitting the subscribe and like button to help the channel out. Drop a comment in the section down below. I appreciate every single person who takes the time to interact with the channel. But for this one, I'm going to wrap it there, and I'll see you tomorrow when we face off against Wolves as we look to get 3 more points in the Premier League.